If you've never seen Roadhouse, and you know someone who's seen Roadhouse, and they find out you've never seen Roadhouse, there's a very good chance, I would hazard to say an overwhelming chance, that they will urge you to see Roadhouse as soon as possible. And rightfully so, because Roadhouse it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's an oversexed, overstimulated hunk of movie meat that is, by most accounts, a dumb movie. Okay, let me rephrase that. Roadhouse is a dumb movie. But it's a dumb movie that stood the test of time, I think, because it's an absurdity built with care. A rickety roller coaster that's been engineered to feel at once down to earth and nearly off the rails. And at the core of that absurdity is Dalton. That's Dalton, the second best bouncer in the business and a legend in the roadside bar community. Everybody knows Dalton, okay? He's Dalton.
You got a name?
Because in the Roadhouse universe,
Yeah.
the Roadhouse-averse, bouncers are no mere mortals. They are gods.
Dalton.
Oh my God. Shit, I heard of you.
Name's Dalton, right?
That guy at the end of the bar is fucking Dalton, man.
The name is Dalton.
And as the god of his universe, Dalton constructs reality in his image. Everything in the movie plays out exactly as if he wrote the fantasy version of his life and sent the script to a studio executive. He makes boatloads of cash doing his work exactly the way he wants to do it.
It's my way or the highway.
Hi.
Women want him.
So you're looking for somebody?
You.
Men want to be him,
I've always wanted to try you.
or they attempt and fail to best him.
You know, I heard you had balls big enough to come in a dump truck, but you don't look like much to me.
Even his comebacks, which are really not very good,
Opinions vary.
somehow make him seem cooler in the eyes of those around him. And it's not just the other characters that idolize Dalton either. It's the camera, too, which frames Dalton as a lens through which we see the world, and at the same time, a hero we can never embody, only witness. Time and again, the filmmakers have us watching Dalton through other people's eyes, watching them, watching him as they admire his cool, his stoicism, his professionalism, his masculinity, his body. Dalton is not just the hero of Roadhouse, but its object, and the movie luxuriates in Patrick Swayze's performance.
Pain don't hurt.
Swayze does so much between lines of dialogue in this movie. Just a look, he marks some characters immediately as worthy, and some as damned. He is judge, jury, executioner in his world, which is pretty standard hero worship material, I suppose. But what's most important is that Dalton abhors violence.
Nobody ever wins a fight.
His entire approach to being a bouncer is built around the idea that being nice will more often than not diffuse unruly patrons.
If somebody gets in your face and calls you a cocksucker, I want you to be nice.
Okay.
Which actually makes a lot of sense, but it creates in Dalton's fantasy world an irresolvable contradiction that unspools the movie's strange and varied pleasures. Because Dalton's fantasy, the very legend that makes him the deified center of his universe, demands that he prove his kick-ass fighting skills again and again. And so Dalton is both outwardly disgusted by violence and surrounded by folks who are consistently, insanely violent. Dalton is a cooler in a world that runs unseasonably hot, which is the absurdity at the core of what makes Roadhouse so much fun. And it's an absurdity that the movie acknowledges and embraces. Dalton's love interest even calls him out for it.
You think you're gonna save these people from Brad Wesley? Well, who's gonna save them from you?
Don't worry about that, nobody was hurt. My point is that in the movie's efforts to construct a universe in Dalton's image, it incorporates into that universe a longing for violence that lies buried deep within Dalton himself. Stacked against Dalton are villains who are unapologetically delighted by violence. None more so than his arch nemesis, Brad Wesley.
Brad Wesley.
Brad Wesley.
Brad Wesley.
Yes, Brad Wesley, a man so evil and so powerful that he has the means to blow up not one, but 2 buildings with military-grade explosives without fear of prosecution for his crimes. Wesley has surrounded himself with a strange crew of middle-aged dudes like him who also just really love doing evil stuff and being violent. Wesley, in particular, is living his best life being as evil as he can. The movie takes time to show us how much fun he's having.
You've gotten rich off of the people in this town.
You bet your ass I have. And I'm gonna get richer.
It's like the darkest parts of Dalton, the parts he buries deep inside, beneath his avowed resistance to violence, have been personified and magnified in Wesley and his crew. So when I say that Dalton constructs the universe, I mean that Roadhouse brings to life the darkest parts of his worldview alongside his fantasies. And while the outcome of Dalton's struggle with Brad Wesley is never really in doubt, their meeting creates sparks that result in continual and ecstatic bouts of fist fights, knife fights, spear fights, so that Dalton can remake his universe one punch at a time.
Escort this gentleman to the door.
Did you see that shit?
Dalton.
Yes, that's Dalton, and we are witness to his glory.
Who is that guy?